welcome back to All Saints Church Fulham and our resumption of public worship on a Sunday. We will now have an 8 a.m. Holy Communion according to the Book of Common Prayer and a 10:30 said Eucharist. This will be alongside our online services, the 9 o'clock family service, the 9:30 Eucharist and the 6 o'clock evening prayer. So you can still enjoy those services at home if you wish. We will, of course, be adhering to strict government and diocesan guidelines. So if you're feeling unwell, please don't come to church. You can always contact the clergy by phone or email. And if you're shielding, the current advice is not to come to public worship inside a church until the end of shielding at the end of July. The important thing to know is that initially we are limiting attendance to 30 people per service, and that we need to keep their contact details just in case there's a COVID outbreak and we need to assist the government with any further tracing. So please don't just turn up to church. First contact Tina, our parish manager, to request a space and then wait for her to confirm that you have one. We will be keeping those details just for 21 days and then disposing of them. So if you do apply, you are giving consent for that. Coming into church, unsurprisingly, the first thing to do is to sanitize your hands. No masks are required unless you feel more comfortable wearing one. But we must adhere to social distancing and keep 2 meters, where possible, away from anyone who is not in your household or bubble. So please bear that in mind when you enter through the glass doors, unless you need flat access through the north porch. And then when you go through the church, or the centre aisle or the south aisle, to find your pew and a communion. And at the end of the service, when you come up the north aisle and out the north porch. But keep that safe distance, especially in this area where people will be sanitising their hands, there'll be a warden, people picking up service sheets or lighting a candle. Please take a service sheet and take it home with you, and a card that you leave on the ledge in front of your pew to show that you've sat there, so that no one else sits there for 72 hours or until the pew is clean. If you're on your own or with members of your household or bubble and therefore sitting together, please find an empty pew without a card there and then move right along into the middle. Don't sit near the end in case you're too near somebody in the aisle. In the beginning, there'll be no live singing, and you'll be asked not to raise your voices to minimise the risk of projecting any germs. For communion, stay seated until you're ushered up. This will be done gradually to help you keep 2 meters away from the person in front and behind you. If you're in the side aisle, you may well be asked to go to the back of the church and then come up the centre aisle. Penny will give communion in one kind. There will be no chalice. She will place the communion with an outstretched hand into your outstretched palm. She will have sanitised her hands, and when she consecrated the wafers, they will have been covered or sealed. Once you've received, please return to your pew via the north or south aisles. At the end of the service, please stay seated till you're ushered out, down the centre aisle or the south aisle, and then up the north aisle and out the north porch. Take your service sheet home with you, but leave the card in its place. Please don't create any bottlenecks as you go out, but do feel free to catch up with others outside at a safe distance. On your way out, again, please sanitise your hands. There won't be a collection during the service, but if you'd like to make a donation, then do use our contactless machine, and there may be a retiring plate by the north door. I realise that's a lot to take in, but Penny and the wardens will remind us about it during the service. The main thing is that if you want to come to either of our services, then please contact Tina first to reserve your space. All these initial stipulations will evolve over the next few weeks, so keep an eye on the church website and the church emails, or phone the office for the latest news. Thank you for keeping each other safe, and we look forward to seeing you in church soon.